Hello everybody, Jim Baugh here, and we are at the beach, Mermaid Bay, on the beautiful Chesapeake Bay. Got my dog Jazz out here. Jazz loves to run on the beach and chase seagulls. Now, hey, for you bird lovers, she has not caught one yet, but boy, she sure does try. Awful lot of fun watching that dog run. Go Jazz! Okay, hey, today we're gonna talk about my 5 absolute favorite camera mounts that we use in the field. Every time we shoot, we take these 5 mounts, and for the kind of shooting that we do, they're truly indispensable. Now, 3 of these you can buy, order online. The other 2, you got a little do-it-yourself project. First up, a magnetic mount. Now, I wish I'd have thought of this, but I didn't. My cameraman of 15 years, Wayne Baker, when I was shooting down in Miami and Jupiter, he gave me this thing. And we actually used it to mount our GoPros and little action cameras right on the hoods of the cars, and we were driving around getting all kinds of shots. But anything's in metal, this attaches to. So let me tell you how handy this comes in when you're on boats, cars, just anywhere. Now, a little note about this is not any sort of locking mechanism. It is magnetic, so you don't want to go bouncing around too much and damage your camera. But just for very quick, easy shots, and to be able to put the camera in places you normally wouldn't be able to, little magnetic mount is just, this is fantastic. And you can make this yourself. You just take your standard mount, and he just did some compound glue here, and that's it. Magnetic mount, fantastic. So that's number 1, goes with this everywhere. Now moving along, this is something that probably everybody in the world has seen now. Yes, they are called Selfie sticks by most. The more professional name is, of course, a monopod. Now look how small this is. Now this, I guess, is probably about 3 feet or something when it's fully extended. And we really don't use this to take pictures of ourselves, not like what most people do. The fact is that this little monopod, again, it's very, very important that you can also adjust at what level you want your actual attachment to be on your camera. This is very handy, so when you're like on one of the sides of going out of a car, or if you're on a boat or anything, train, very, very handy. It is collapsible, and we just can use this anywhere. It goes with this. Actually, a lot of our shooting is done right off of this little monopod. And we'll get to a longer monopod in just a little bit, but it is adjustable. It mounts very easy. Now, the thing about these sticks, and you see them all over the place, you can get them online, very, very inexpensive. But I'll tell you, I have broken so many of these. I can't even tell you how many that I've busted. Because what we do, we're pretty rough with them. We'll hang out the side of a boat going 50 miles an hour and be sticking the camera down into the waves. You can imagine the force that's on one of these things, and they just break constantly. So I did some research, and I found a company called Alaska Life, and they make this aluminum, anodized aluminum monopod, and it is just absolutely super. I have 2 of them. I've never had a dime's bit of problems with them. I do kind of like oil them up pretty good, and there's no rust. Cannot recommend it high enough. Invest in a little bit of money and get a good anodized aluminum monopod. Several manufacturers, carry them now, but this is, again, indispensable. Everywhere I go, this goes with me, and we can just get some great, great, great shots. Okay, so moving on, the Gorilla Grip. Now, there's several companies that make these. Very handy tool, and I'll tell you why I like the Gorilla Grip. When we're setting up for time lapses during the day, our night lapses, you want a really, really, really sturdy and steady lockdown mechanism for your camera, because your camera can't move. Oh, there goes Jazz. And also, we film around the water an awful lot, being an outdoor show. And we're around docks, and we want our cameras to be very, very sturdy. We don't want them dropping over, into the water. So I've never once had a dime's bit of problem with the Gorilla Grip. Highly recommend it. And again, it's very small, lightweight, and you can take it anywhere. Now, moving on. Boy, this is a little do-it-yourself project. It's not that bad. This is, this is my serious armament right here. I call this my boom cam, and I think it's probably about, I'm not sure how far I can get out with that. It's not fully extended, but it's this thing is just awesome. I've got a mount right here where you put your cell phone on, so you can, through wireless connectivity to your camera, whatever, any action cam you're using these days pretty much is going to have wireless capabilities. And I'm going to extend this down just so you can see it a little bit easier. So what we needed is we needed a longer, if you call it a monopod or selfie stick or whatever, to get down off the sides of boats that had a really, really high freeboard. And so we made this. And basically what this is PVC pipe. And then I've got PVC pipe insulation here, which causes it to float. Also, it's a really, really, really good grip. You can grab a hold of this thing really good because we're all the time getting wet and splashed and so forth. And I haven't lost it yet. I've also got a little handle on here on the back, and I'd wrap that around, and then we'll stick this thing overboard. We'll get some deep underwater shots with it. But this also, because of the size of it, the length you can get, you can really sort of simulate a lot of crane shots that we used to do way back in the day, some 20 years ago. But it's very, very expensive to do, very expensive equipment, three-man crew to do those kind of shots we were doing. But with this, because it's so long, like when we were out on various head boats, we can just stick this thing so far up, like in the captain's quarters, at the helm station and stuff, and just get unbelievable shots. So this does, believe it or not, go with me everywhere we go, and pretty much use it to simulate crane shots. Very expensive looking shots, and we just love it. So you can make this on the end here. It's collapsible, and I had one of the selfie sticks that I actually broke. What are the odds of that? I got tons of them. And I stuck it at the end of the PVC pipe. And that way I've got a retractable into it. It just makes it a little easier for transportation. But you really can make this. It's just only cost a few bucks. I think the PVC pipe cost, I don't know, $7 or $8, and the insulation. And you will find it absolutely indispensable. And I had to make this because I had used some previously, and they're just not strong enough. They wobble like when you're out on the water and waves, and this is rock steady. There's just no movement in it, no shake, and it's very lightweight. And this is one big secret how we get a lot of our really, really, really cool shots. So then lastly, we've got our tripod. And this is just a Manfrotto, a very simple tripod. I think I spent $70 for it. It's quite a few years ago. It'll hold all of our cameras. It's just super lightweight. We use it on the beach. Have not had any issues with it at all, and mostly we use the tripod when we're doing our studio shots. To tell you the truth, when I go on the road, I rarely even take a tripod. All the cameras now pretty much all have steady shot in them, and we just don't really need it in the field that much. And we travel with 5 cameras when we do. So anyway, you can get a good selfie stick. If you do get a monopod like this, again, make sure you get an end that's adjustable, anodized aluminum. You'll also notice we get these screws here that are also anodized aluminum. And we've broken so many of the plastic ones, it's, again, pretty ridiculous. So it's worth the investment. These are only a few dollars, and you can get them online, and they work very well. And do make yourself a magnetic mount. You'll be glad you did. And make yourself one of these, because you will get such unbelievable creative shots, and people will wonder how you did it. I'm Jim Baugh. We'll see you next time.